Okay, there we goes. All right, welcome to the Sweet Talk. Today is Monday, November 30th, 2020. I am your host, Kim Mattina. I am a Google certified trainer and educator and a gold product expert for the Google for Education team and a technology teacher. And today I'm so excited to have on my show the incredible Manny Curiel.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay!
I am
We practiced.
I did, and I wrote it out phonetically. So, so I'm so happy that you are on my show. I'm so honored to have you on today. We've been, in contact with each other on Twitter. Let me just introduce you so that people know who you are. Manny comes to us from Texas. He's an instructional technology specialist in the Cy-Fair School District. He supports the World Language Department along with 10 other campuses. And he's also a big advocate in Flipgrid. He has a lot of influence in the Flipgrid community. He's a student voice ambassador board member. And he actually had a lot to do with the Flipgrid educator guide and translating that. He's definitely an enthusiastic person. He has so much energy. He's a WeVideo ambassador. He's an Edpuzzle coach. Are you an
Yeah,
right?
They don't have, I told them you need to get more of the levels because you get a coach, but yes.
Yeah, and he's just a great resource. I know Manny does a lot with Wakelet, and he's always on Twitter doing and sharing a lot with his PLN. So thank you for being on today, Manny. I'm so happy to have you on this Sweet Talk.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting. A video podcast. Ooh.
And it's live.
And it's live, yeah. So whatever I say,
if we make a mistake or if something slips out, it's okay, right? We're live.
When I was with Jake, I said so many things. We just busted out laughing. I'm like, you're gonna edit that.
No, I don't edit anything.
Well, I know. So I'm like, I'm not even careful what I say.
No, actually, it was funny. I had somebody on and we were live, and as I was disconnected, somebody in the background cursed. And it was funny. It was so funny because it wasn't like it happens. Like, she thought we were disconnected and it wasn't. And it was funny. So it's all good. We're authentic here on the Sweet Talk, and that's what it's all about, right? Being yourself. So, Manny, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, so I am originally from Guadalajara. I've been here, we said, about 18 years. I didn't know any Spanish, any English. Spanish is my first language. So I struggled a lot when I came here because, again, I couldn't express myself. I was already an adult. I was 20, I guess. No, I'm not an adult in the U.S. But I was very self-sufficient and back in Mexico. I did whatever I wanted. I went where I wanted because I knew how to express myself. And when I come to teach my teachers, like I was completely overwhelmed because I didn't know what I was saying. It takes me a while to understand things in English that I don't understand, that I'm not familiar with. So I would say, I wish they will record their lessons so I can pause my teacher and re-watch them again. Or I need some processing time.
Right.
And that was not the thing back then. And something that Jake said that always gets to me, you do the best you can until you know better. When you know better, you do better. You know that quote from Maya Angelou? And I did the same thing. I didn't record my lessons, even though when I was a student, I wanted my teachers to record themselves. I just didn't know how. I didn't even know that was possible. So now that I'm a tech coach, I was like, OMG, we have got to get people recording. And now that in the middle of this pandemic, people still don't record themselves just because they're not comfortable with it or they don't know how. I'm like, girl, you're in Zoom already. Just press the recording button. Just press it. Just press it in there. And you'll have a resource that you can upload or you can share with your students, and it will be there for them. It's just that they don't see that.
Yeah, and it's funny because like we say all the time, like record, because then your audience can stop or pause it and do it and then play it again. And it's funny because you know, you actually, it's like personal for you, it sounds like, you know, like you,
Yes.
because you experienced all that, and it becomes like a personal thing that you're trying to actually influence and push that out there. And nowadays, like, if you're not recording in this pandemic, you're really making it, you don't have to make it as difficult as it is. Like, you're doing like a disservice, I would say, you know what I mean? That's my opinion, because, you know, like I said, you can allow the user to view it at their own pace, or take a little bit of time to comprehend, or like just have that information sink in, you know,
Yes.
and like digest it, you know. And you know, even when, like, you're a coach, I'm a tech teacher, and, you know, we've been doing a lot of support this year. You know, I'm always making videos and tutorials, and the teachers are always telling me, I'm always pausing, and then I do it, and then I play it, and then I do it, so that, you know, they're doing at their own pace. So, like, for you to actually experience that when you came into the country 18 years ago, and back then there wasn't the tools that are available now. So it
Yeah.
makes it much more, it makes it much more seamless and easier for people to have access to the tools.
True. Yeah. So I created this video that showcases the reasons why, or actually the benefits of the teacher on the teacher side, and the benefits for the student. Like, we just talked about the student benefits, which is like, if I'm like overwhelmed that I don't understand something, I can pause it and then watch it later or rewatch it. But on this teacher side, OMG, like, when I was a teacher, I'm like, I repeated myself multiple times. It was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I guess you're gonna have to go watch the video.
How many times do you say
Yeah.
um?
Yes. Yes. And now I say because in Spanish it's or it's different. But it's true. So in my mind, it's like, there's so many benefits for recording. But teachers right now are completely overwhelmed, because at least the ones that I know that are still in the classroom, they have to learn to be hybrid teachers. That alone is OMG mind blowing.
It's,
It's
yeah,
like, oh, and then they have to learn Schoology, because we bought Schoology. They have to learn that, and how to upload their lessons, and how to do Zoom and teach face to face at the same time. That is like,
yeah,
so
I agree.
maybe that the first semester is done and they're kind of familiar. They're possibly saying, maybe I should be recording my lessons, which, yes, you should.
Yeah, I agree.
So the video, I guess you have notes, right? I don't think we talked about this, but there's a link right here. It's not a
I
YouTube video. Oh, it is a YouTube video.
It is a YouTube
It
video.
is a YouTube video. So
Yeah,
I have the link to the video that I'm talking about, and
I'll
it
put it in the
showcases the
chat.
awesome the teacher benefits and the student benefits. Then it also talks about like different ways to record. I have a class that I taught at TCCA not that long ago. It's in my website, mannycuriel.com. The whole recording is there. The entire session is there that showcases 5 different ways to record themselves. I am a WeVideo lover. I love WeVideo. So obviously that's my first choice, because we pay for the licenses.
I
There's
agree.
Yeah, oh my god, I love me some video, but there's also free ones like Flipgrid. OMG, the Flipgrid Shorts does not. I don't think people promote it enough. That app is sickening. It is like amazing what you could
And
do
it's
in
free.
Flipgrid. It is
I
free.
know, it's crazy.
Ah, did you guys know that you can do a Flipgrid video that does not require responses? What? So
I
for the
didn't know that.
longest time, we block YouTube because we did. I don't make decisions. So videos that we didn't have access to YouTube videos. But if you wanted to share videos through Google Drive, for some reason they were not working properly. But if you want to share videos through Flipgrid, you can, because they stream their own video. So there was 0 problems. And Flipgrid is OMG super easy. Students are familiar with it. Teachers are familiar with it already, and it's exactly the same camera. And it gives you a link that you can share out directly with kids. It is like OMG awesome. Love, love, love,
And
love, love it.
and you can share it in Google Classroom too.
Yes, with one touch. Like,
Yep, one touch click.
it's so cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, I started recording all of my videos in Screencastify because it was like super easy. You click on the Chrome browser, you immediately click, look, I want to do my screen. I want to do both my screen and my webcam, or just the webcam, whatever it was. And it was just there. And I just started chit-chatting. You can also attach a document camera and change the camera if I wanted to show my hand or a passage or something. And it magically saves into Google Drive. I'm like, wow, this is so
Wait,
cool.
back up again. Are you telling me that you can record with your not with your webcam, your document camera?
Yes, because it tells you which camera do you want to use. You want to use this one? Or do you want to use, if you have to have attached a document camera, obviously. We use hovercam. So you have to have your hovercam connected, and then it detects it and it says, which camera would you want? It's
Oh,
like so cool.
I never thought about using the document camera that way.
Well, I
And in
thought,
that way, that way you're actually recording what you're writing on
well,
the paper?
I taught second, third, and first. So depending on the grade level that I was in, I will do passages in third grade. So I was showcasing the students, they have to go back to the passage and prove which answer was correct.
So you were
And
going back and
model.
showing
Yeah,
reading.
but I needed a document camera. And then
Wow.
sometimes I'll have to change it, like pause the video, add something else with my face, and explain that to them, like looking at the camera. And I said, I am looking at you. Did you see? You have to go back and flip. Look, this is called flipping. They don't know. So I have to like literally demo exactly what I wanted them to do. And
And this
recording,
was when you were face to face teaching, right?
yeah, this is like
Okay.
a couple of years ago.
Okay, so you would record yourself with the document camera, put it on pause, and then like talk to the kids face to face, and then you would
Yes.
record it, and then continue what you were doing.
Yes, you can do the same thing with WeVideo. Sadly, you cannot do it with Flipgrid, which I'm like, you guys need to get it together with this. I need a document camera attached and be able to do the same thing. And then I'm like, okay. So
That's honestly that's interesting.
that's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
because
cool.
I
That's
wanted
cool.
I wanted parents to hear me, to see the exact same vocabulary that I'm using. I wanted them to support their kids using the same way that I'm teaching, their kids. Because even though I was a first grade teacher and my son is in first grade, I know what kind of math they use. And I used to teach that, but I'm not his teacher. And she uses different ways. Well, not different ways, but she uses different words and she does it slightly different. I'm like, I'm not teaching my son the way I did it because he's going to get frustrated. And the teacher's going to be like, really? I don't want to step on anybody's toes and I need to be respectful. And I says, would you mind recording yourself so I can do exactly what you're doing so I can help you, at home? And she's like, oh, MG, yes, please. So
Wow.
she used Screencastify and, she recorded herself. And then to put it into Schoology, you were using WeVideo. So I changed it and sent it to her. She's like, oh my God, you're amazing. It's like,
That
I
was it.
love video
But
because
for you it was easy though
it
to
was
do
easy.
that.
Yes. And I
Right.
was like, I'm not going to sit here and teach you how to do it because you're not ready. I'm grateful that you're willing to record yourself because she wasn't comfortable with it. And she's like, well, you can do it in Zoom, which, hello, you're already using Zoom. She's like, I'm like, I'm going to use English Screencastify. That's what my neighbor uses. I'm like, great, do with that.
Okay.
No
Yeah,
problem.
whatever.
It's,
Yeah.
it's whatever they feel comfortable with. So
Yeah.
some teachers, they use document cameras because the software is super easy to use because it is easy. I mean, we use Hovercam and it's like literally you record and then pause and that's it. That's all you do and he does it and he puts it on your computer. So those are the five that I use: the document camera, WeVideo, Flipgrid, Screencastify, and I'm missing one.
Well, you said Zoom.
Oh, and Zoom. There you go.
But a
Those are the
Zoom,
five.
Zoom is different. You can record on a Windows computer, but not on a Chromebook. Like the app is different.
Right. But this is the teacher's recording, and
Yeah.
sometimes they don't have a meeting. They just launch the app and they record themselves teaching. Which if some of the teachers are like, well, I don't want the kids' names. I'm like, well, then record your own lesson in advance, which is something that I
By
needed. And that's
yourself.
because when I was a student, Man, I need preload information because it takes me a while for it to click.
Yeah.
I'm just watching the Golden Girls for the first time. So I'm special.
You'll catch up. Don't worry.
So I was just like, huh. So yeah.
No, but I think, it's funny that you say that, like, because, you talk about two different things. You talk about like having teachers record their lessons prior to, so
Hmm.
that the resource is already done, or
Yes.
just record on the fly so that they have a record of what they did, and then they can post it, like maybe as a, as part of a material resource for the lesson. So like it definitely like falls into place to what's going on now with education, right? Because I know at least in my school we have all virtual team for seventh and eighth grade, and then we have hybrid teachers. So
Yes.
they want they want the hybrid teachers to be able to record a lesson and post it online for the kids that they don't see. And then in the afternoon, have like them log in and connect with you and go and have, go over any questions that they have about what you posted. you know? So like for you just to go over what you just did and what you just said is it aligns with everything that what people are doing today. Even though it's overwhelming, it's part of the important piece that we need
Yes.
to give the kids the content. Sorry. you
Yeah, I
know
think it's depending on how they feel comfortable. If they don't want to prep a video because I'm like, I don't know about that. You're already teaching. Just push record and then just go with it. And I think, and not most, like every single time that I ask the teacher, do you mind if I record your lesson with your phone? Because I don't want to own the video because then they feel like I'm gonna post it or show it to
yeah.
somebody. I was like, let me have your phone, let me record your lesson, and then I'll give it back to you. So I never really own the video. The teachers always watch it and they go like, man, I didn't know I do that. Oh, I don't like how I do this. I'm like, this is something that the teachers have told me. Like, I don't like recording myself because I realize that I do these things that I'm not a fan of. I'm like, well, that makes you better.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
should see some of my recordings. They're a hot mess.
But that's how we all like learn, right? You learn and you look at what you're doing and then you try to improve on that. And if you don't have a video of that, then how are you ever going to be
Yeah.
mindful of it? Like
Yes.
it's funny because back before the pandemic happened, there's a tool called Swivl. Do you know what Swivl
Yes.
is?
Yes.
So like in my school district, they were encouraging teachers to use the Swivl with their own phone and record their lessons and then submit that in as part of your like part of your
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
goals and student objectives at the end of the year, so that you can reflect on your teaching. And like you said, like people would watch it and be like, oh man, this I can't watch myself talk or speak, or look what I'm doing. Like, you're talking with your hands, or you're just saying things, and you're always saying or like just different things. But that was a tool that people would use to improve on their teaching
Yeah.
style. So
It-
you're actually hitting a lot of that in our conversation, because it can help improve your different style of teaching. It could maybe bring something out that you weren't aware of.
yes, and it's just all about making it better. Like I said, English is not my first language. I think a lot. I say things that sometimes doesn't make sense. Then I want to watch it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But
And
as long as you convey a message, I say like it doesn't have to be a Hollywood production. I think if you make it perfect, then kids are gonna feel like, ooh, I cannot like whenever there's a teacher that draws amazing, the kids what do they say? They go, oh, I can draw
I
like that.
can't
I'm
do
not even
that.
gonna try. Exactly.
Yeah.
So my videos for the most of my videos are like like all over the place. Not all over the place, but They're
Well,
funny. And then I stumble and they're not perfect, which I don't want them to be perfect because I
right.
want teachers to be like, I could do that. And the kids do
I'm
the
so
same way.
I'm glad that you're saying that because I tell the teachers the same thing. Like if you make a
Yeah.
mistake or if you stutter or
You're
if you
fine.
forgot the term or just keep recording. Who cares? It's part of being human. So they see that you're human and that you made a
Mistake.
mistake or what.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Plus, it's going to take you an extra half hour or an hour to redo everything and get it all done. So just
Yeah.
let it go and play and who cares? Like, it I don't know. Like you're right. I think the kids see an authentic person and I think they realize more they not that they respect you more, but they see that hey, you're not perfect and you do make mistakes and it's okay.
And kids relate to that.
They
They
do.
want to see you. They want to see you. They don't want to see someone else's video teaching them something. They want to see you. Okay,
And yeah,
I was
exactly.
teaching. I don't even know what I was teaching, but I remember. I think it was headings because OMG, nobody remember what a heading was. I'm like, ah. So I was at my house and I was eating Takis, and my fingers were like
What?
red.
What?
Takis,
What's
the
that?
chip. Oh my gosh, girl, you need to get you some Takis. You go to the Mexican side of the store and you get Takis. Okay, all my students were
Is it
bilingual, so
spicy?
yes, they're very
Oh, no,
spicy.
I
I
don't like spicy food.
love them.
I
So
don't
my
know.
fingers were red, and I was like, and I said, yes, I'm eating Takis, and my mouth is on fire. But let me tell you what headings are.
That is
Every
a funny
student
name.
remember what a
I never
heading was.
heard of that before. I'm gonna Google it after this and see what they look
Yes, Takis. They're so good. They have to be the purple ones because otherwise, they're not good. They're not good. They have to be the original purple Takis.
like. Okay.
So, so you
Is
make it
it like a
memorable for the
tortilla
kids.
chip in New Jersey? Is that what it's compared to?
For the what?
Is it compared to like a tortilla chip in New Jersey?
They're all kind of, but yeah, they look like I don't know what. I think they're round but they're rolled up like a little taquito, like little tiny ones. They're about this big, and they're covered in chili powder. They are so good. I'm gonna send you a picture.
Oh man. All right,
They're
let's keep
delicious.
going. Oh,
Anyway, so when you switch things up and you change because I was recording in my house and everybody noticed the first thing is like, oh, he's not at school, and oh, this dude is eating Takis. So they remembered, what a heading was after a whole bunch of times that I said what a heading was. They couldn't remember. I had a video about it and they couldn't remember. But at the moment that I changed it, they make that connection. I'm like, okay, whatever. So, but they do enjoy seeing you and your humor and the things you say. That's what sticks to students. Like my kids, still when I run into them, when I go to campuses, I run into my students. They still remember my jokes,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they want to see you. They don't want to see someone else's video. So I'm like, if teachers will just get off that fear, I'm like, oh my gosh, people are gonna see me. Like if you see the video that I make, like my whole district is watching, my team, my boss, principals, they all watch my crazy videos. Then I'm like, I don't know, and I say bajiggity a lot, and people are like, "What's bajiggity?" I'm like,
I don't know.
sweetest thing. I love that movie.
You got to keep staying tuned to see what it is.
That's right. So I laugh a lot of my videos. Sometimes I'm like, wait, what was I saying? And I don't edit that out because when you're teaching, there's no take two. When you're
Yeah,
teaching in front of the kids, that's what the kids are seeing. And hopefully teachers are preparing those lessons. And then when you're recording, it's just like evidence of the awesome things that you're doing. And you just, have it as a resource 24/7. Sometimes, and this is something when I was first hired, and these meetings that we have that used to be all day, my boss likes to say caveat, and I was like, what in the world is caveat? So I'm like, I was there. I was like, I couldn't hear anything. I didn't pay attention because I was thinking caveat. I was trying to use my context clues because I was a reading teacher. I'm like, what
it's
is this? What is this? I
process
had
it.
to, yeah, I had to pop my phone. I'm like caveat and Google, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know what a caveat is. And then I was able to pay attention. And students do the exact same thing. So if I was able to pause the video, look it up, my mind is at ease. Okay, now I can concentrate, and now I can, continue receiving the information. Because sometimes I was, my kids will be like, they fight. I was at, second grade. They fight. My friend doesn't like me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm all alone in the world, and like, dramatic, whatever. But
Embarrassing.
they feel it, yeah. And then they're not there. So if
No.
they have access to that content that teachers are recording whenever they're home, and they're like, okay, I didn't die. Yes, at the end we became friends again. We're BFFs. We're good. Then they're able to learn. That when they were there, they're not gonna learn anything.
You know what it is too? Like what I find too, Manny, was like, so let's just go back pre-COVID, right? I created like a YouTube playlist for middle school students to create like a tour builder tour
Mm-hmm.
when it was still, available, right? There's a playlist. You put it in, you number it in order, sequential order that they have to watch it.
Yeah.
You still ask you questions, right? They still want you to actually hold their hand and help them do it. So I said, no, it's in the video. Nope, it's in video 2. Nope, go watch video 4. And after they watched it, I got so many comments on my YouTube channel on videos that they watched, because they said, "Oh, thank you, Mrs. Matina. This was helpful. Oh, this was great. Thank you for this." And they actually watched it, and it forced them to go through and do the tasks in that sequential order. And they, as much as like it was, they keep asking for help, and they want you to hold their hand. As much as I wanted to help them, I didn't want to help them, because I knew the answers that they were asking me were in the videos, and I wanted them to watch the videos. And after it was all over, the whole assignment, even in person, they would tell me, thanks, Mrs. Matina, this was helpful. The kids are your audience, and they're going to be honest with you too. And if like my videos were quick, nothing, I didn't do a video more than 5 minutes, know?
That's another thing, because
That's another thing,
sometimes,
because they won't watch it.
right, exactly.
They won't watch it. So you have to get to the point very quickly. And then I even put in my hyperdocs the amount of the time of the video, how long the video is, so that they know, okay, it's only a 3-minute and 15-second video. You can watch it. It's not going to kill you. But in the end result was positive, and they learned, and they were able to be independent. And that's kind of like the goal. Like that's what you want them to actually be able to do. So if I didn't have the videos, I would have been repeating myself over and over
a whole bunch of times.
yeah, for the whole 3 days that I had that class in my classroom, because they were all asking the same questions. So yeah, it takes time to record, but think of it as like in the end you're going to gain all that
Oh my
time
gosh, yes.
and satisfaction and stuff. So it's definitely worth it. And start
It
small,
really is.
right? Like you were saying, I want to go circle back to Flipgrid Shorts for a second. So explain Flipgrid Shorts. Like you can record up to a 10-minute video in there, right? And then you mentioned something about you didn't have to have the students respond to you.
So when you say Flipgrid, you immediately think of the teacher records the video or instructions, and then the students are responding to that topic, which is basically what Flipgrid is. But with Flipgrid Shorts, you just have an independent video, a standalone video that needs no responses. Actually, you can't even respond to the video because there's no button for it. So it's like you're recording yourself doing a lesson or doing a reflection or something that you want to tell the students or parents. And then you have the same editor. You have the boards, which is like OMG amazing, because you can cut
and all that.
The boards are amazing. You can record your screen and your webcam if you want. You cannot use the document camera, but hopefully that'll be changing soon. You have the stickers, which OMG, the stickers are amazing. Like you can have the 5 frame, and you can have 2, so you can make a 10 frame. And with the stickers, with the shapes, you can do tons of stuff. With the content that's already available in Flipgrid. You can upload your own videos if you already did it somewhere else. And you can add segments of other things. Like you can create a segment of a video that you already recorded, and then if you want to add something else, you can, because it adds like little pieces and it stitches it all together. And at
In
the
the
end,
in the one sit-in or in the one Flipgrid short video, you can add multiple videos so that it
yes,
stitches it together.
yeah, at the end it tells you you can add more if you have your limit is 10 minutes. So if you have 5 minutes per se, that you whatever you have in there, it's 3 or 5 minutes. You can add up to 10 minutes of
Oh, so you
video
can
in there.
chunk it then. You can
Yeah, yeah,
chunk.
yeah. You can chunk
Okay.
it and you can move them around. Like if you have something that you recorded in the beginning, but you want it in the middle, you literally drag it to the middle.
It gives you that
And
option
it's so
to do
cool.
that? I never did
Yes.
that before.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. It is like, oh, amazing. Whenever I am trying to ask a question to a teacher or I want to send a video to someone and I need a quick video, I'm sorry, but I don't go to WeVideo. It takes too long. I mean, that is for amazing videos. I need something quick that needs no editing. I go to Flipgrid Shorts, record my screen. This is the problem that I'm having, and I send it to whoever I'm sending the link, and that's it.
So do you create another topic for that?
No,
Like,
it's on your teacher dashboard on the top. It says Flipgrid Shorts, and
okay.
all the shorts they are stored in the Shorts section. They don't have topics or anything because they don't have
Okay.
responses.
I see. I
It's
use
so cool.
Flipgrid. I use Flipgrid for the way it was designed. I,
Mhm.
teacher prompts,
Yeah,
response. Never use Flipgrid Shorts. And I've heard so much about it, but it just
it's
never.
so cool.
Yeah,
And I
and
think
so that's how so then you can take that video and share that video in Google Classroom too?
yeah, yep, yep. It has a
Really?
button. At the end, you publish it, and then it gives you the options. You can do it in Teams, Google Classroom, Remind. You have a QR code, embed, and the link.
Okay, so
So cool.
I'm gonna have to get in with that now because that I didn't I just heard the buzz about it, but I didn't get a chance to play with Flipgrid Shorts. I just didn't really know too much about it to be able to utilize it. But I'm gonna try it now and see because
It's really cool.
yeah, I mean, like, because that's what people are doing. So they're recording. Now you can use the Flipgrid Shorts and share your screen and actually like use it as a whiteboard and demonstrate what you're
If
showing on a
you're
whiteboard.
using, yeah, it gives you, because you're recording your board. You have options to annotate.
Okay, I got to check it out.
It's really cool, right?
I,
I
I'm
love
gonna have
Flipgrid because I use it with teachers as a learning environment. And I said, I need you to reflect on this topic. Like, and I hope that the teachers do the same thing with their students, because I'm modeling that. And when teachers say, I have issues with this, I have issues with that, other teachers that have the same issue, they get validation. They go, oh, I'm not the only person that struggled with this. But then they say, this is what I did. And then you have teachers learning from other teachers and hoping that they'll do the same thing. So students learn from other students.
yeah,
So they can troubleshoot on their own. So we can dedicate our time with the kids who are struggling, and they can figure it out on their own, because that's what's going to happen in the real world. Like, you're on
yeah,
your own
yeah,
with your
exactly.
phone.
You got to figure it out yourself. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's the truth. That's the truth.
that
I'm glad I circled back to that because I wasn't aware that you were able to do all of that in there. So I'm thank you for sharing that.
yeah. Well, you can do the same thing with Wakelet. That, like, with adding things in the comments. That's what when I give credit to teachers, I tell them I need the end. I need a video of you recording what you've learned, and then that's when I put my comments. But when teachers comment to each other, it's on Flipgrid, and that's when they get like, oh, this teacher, had this a great idea, and I leave them all there. All the videos from all the
Yeah,
teachers that I've taken my classes, they're there because I want them to see what other teachers are doing. That they love
yeah,
it. They
yeah.
make connections. This is like super cool.
It's funny that you even mentioned Wakelet too, because like now, like I'm gonna be like I started doing EdTech Tool of the Month. So last month was Book Creator, and now in December I'm gonna showcase Wakelet. and
That's so.
and I love Wakelet. Like
It's free.
Wakelet
It's
is awesome.
so cool.
But it's nice that you mentioned it's that you can integrate Flipgrid in Wakelet, because
Yes.
now it kind of makes the bridge to Flipgrid, and that allows the teachers to use the shorts and stuff to put the recording into a Wakelet collection if they wanted to.
Well, actually, within Wakelet, if you click the plus, you can record using the Shorts camera directly in Wakelet.
Oh, so that's Flipgrid. That's shorts. That
Yes. So
when
the
you hit the
Wakelet,
plus sign in Wakelet, that's a Flipgrid shorts.
there's a Wakelet integration in Shorts. So when you click on the plus, it tells you what do you want to add. You have a link, a notepad. You can add things from. I think there's Adobe Spark now, if I don't remember correctly. You can add OneDrive, Google Drive, and one of the buttons is Flipgrid, because the teacher can record a video directly in Wakelet, but it saves in Flipgrid Shorts in there
Oh,
with Flipgrid
okay.
Shorts. So
I
it
didn't
creates
know
like a
where it got
link.
saved. I
All right,
didn't
and
know
it's like,
that.
so cool.
I knew that there was a Flipgrid integration with Wakelet, but I just never knew where the video was saved. I
Yeah.
figured it was saved in
The
Flipgrid, but I didn't know where in Flipgrid.
the trick is you have to have the same email, because I had an issue when they were piloting this and they sent me an email. I'm like, dude, where is my video? And James is like, I know. So we realized that my Flipgrid account was with my first email, which was Manuel, because people call me Manuel and I'm not a book. So they changed my email to Manny. So one was Manny and the other one was Manuel, even though it goes to the same inbox, not the same email. So there wasn't a connection. So you
Uh,
got to have the same email in both accounts for them to connect.
for Wakelet and Flipgrid.
Yes. And
Good.
then
I'm
you will
glad
see
that you
it.
said
Yeah,
that.
you
Okay.
will see it. Yeah, we were like having issues
Well, that's
because
good.
I didn't remember.
Who would know that? Like, I would never have thought that, So I'm glad that you mentioned that. Look,
Yeah.
you're such a book of
Ah.
knowledge. You're a book
We
of
learned
knowledge.
just because I have struggled with so many things. I'm like, I don't get it. And I
But
just keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Like, oh, you could look at that. We figure it out.
yeah, and doesn't it feel good when you figure something out?
Yes, it makes me feel smart.
It does make
Because
it does
sometimes I'm
make you
like, I
feel
don't
smart.
get this.
It's okay. Let me look it up for a few minutes. Let me
Yeah.
research it. I'll get back to you. Look, we don't know everything, but we do.
And
And
we
you
don't
know
need
what?
to because
Like,
there's Google for that.
exactly. That's what you do. You tell them, I'll be back. Let me
Yep,
research it and I'll get back to you. And that's
that's
it.
right.
But we're not supposed to know everything.
It's about what you do with what you know. Well, no, it's what you do with the knowledge that you can have, because there's Google for everything. You don't need to know it.
You don't
Because
need,
what are you going to create or what are you going to do? That's what's going to make you the money. And that's the skill that kids need. Like, what are you going to do with the information that you have in front of you? Create something with that.
yeah, yeah. And not consume it, be a creator.
Yep.
Exactly. Well, Manny, I am so thankful that you came on today.
Thank you.
This conversation was priceless. I mean, like, honestly, I learned so much from you about the document camera and the Flipgrid shorts and stuff. I'm so glad that you shared all that knowledge and reflect on the benefits of recording from the student perspective and a teacher perspective. Hopefully, if any teachers out there watching this video, that you listen to what Manny was saying and hopefully give it a try and record the lessons, because there are so many benefits. There's more benefits than disadvantages, or
Oh, yes, for
and
sure.
yeah, and you it'll definitely benefit you in the end. So thank you for sharing all that, Manny. And
Yeah.
everything that Manny was talking about is in the show notes, so you can access that on my website. What I'm going to do is just let me wrap up the show. I'm going to share my screen and let me. All right. So if you want to check out my website, you can go to thesweettalk.com, and the homepage, you'll see the latest episode and podcast here. You'll also see there's a new Google Classroom book that Alice Keeler and I wrote. It's available on Amazon. It's 50 steps for beginners to get started using Google Classroom. If you'd like to support my mission and help pay it forward, you can become a sponsor. Just fill out the sponsor form, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Right now, I'm so proud that I have Screencastify, Cami, GAT Labs, and Slides Mania as sponsors. And if you want to see the latest episode of the Sweet Talk, you can go to the episode page and check out all of the show notes and links to the YouTube videos whenever it loads. Everything is accessible here on this page. There, it's loading. There it is. All right. The show notes are Wakelet collections, and then the links to the YouTube videos are there. If you'd like to check out my Jamboard page, check out my idea board for Jamboard. You can check out this article that I wrote. There's so many things in here that you can check out. Share your Jamboard lesson with me by filling out the form here as well. And if you'd like to be a guest on my show, on the homepage, you can always click on the guest form and pay it forward and be a guest and be part of the Sweet Talk community. Here we go. Whenever it loads.
We trust you. It happened to me.
I trust you, really. It's not here. There it is. So you can fill out the guest inquiry form, and then I'll get back to you. Right now, I'm scheduling for February. So help me pay it forward to be a guest, and then you'll always be part of the Sweet Talk community.
Yes.
So there you
I
go.
made it. I know. I always go like, yes.
That's what I like about you, Manny. You got so much energy. You're like contagious.
Even at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm a morning person, but I keep going. But it comes to like 8, I am out.
No, really?
Yeah, I'm like
I don't believe
sleepy.
that.
I'm like, I feel like I'm 60. I'm like, I am tired.
Probably have like 4 hours of sleep and then you're ready to roll again. You don't drink coffee, right?
No, I do tea. I don't do coffee.
Well, that's even more caffeine.
No, I like green tea and mint tea.
Oh, that's good. I mean, tea's good, but you don't need any more caffeine though.
No. I'll be like, ooh.
There's no Red Bulls for you down there.
No, I don't like the taste of the smell. No.
All right, everyone. Well, that concludes the show for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, have a great evening. Bye.
Bye.